The following may contain strong opinionated views. The views and opinions expressed on this show does not necessarily reflect the views or the opinions of any social media or broadcast platform.
Hi, welcome to the Coffee Hour, a show that involves you in verbal interaction. Sports with Brian Camp. So settle in with coffee in hand and enjoy the Coffee Hour. Now here's your host, Frank Allan.
Thank God it's Friday, TGIF. Here we are once again in your homes, in your office, wherever you may be hanging out right now. You just jumped into the Coffee Hour. That's the name of the show. My name is Frank Allan, and I'm your host of the show. As every week, I come along and bring you great conversation. We get together each week at this time, and we have a little coffee, have a little fun, and we want you to get involved in the conversation with us. Oh boy, I am so glad to so happy to see you guys out here today. We've got a good show for you, and we're going to keep it going right throughout the whole hour. I want to thank all of my people who've been around for us for all of these years. And you put up with us all of these years, all of the antics we create here, but it's all in fun. And we thank you so much for being along. We want to also thank the people who may be possibly new to the show. Maybe you're here for the very first time. So we want to talk to you just a minute. As the host of the show, I'm going to get things started. I'm in the prep mode. So what I do is I get things rolling. I may throw out a conversation that we can get started with, so all of us don't be hung up on anything. And while we're doing this, you can create something of your own as well. As a matter of fact, while I'm talking, you can chime in at any time you want, right through your computer or your cell phone or even your tablet with the keyboard there. Just stroke them, type in anything you want to say. I will see you right there on the big screen. I'll entertain all of your thoughts and ideas because that's what we all have, ideas of opinion. Free exchange of ideas and of opinions is what this show is all about. We're on two different platforms, you know. You can watch us live either way. You can watch us live right here on YouTube and right here on Facebook. Now, those of you who are watching us on YouTube, what I want you to do right now is take the time out right now to click on, and you'll see it right there. It says subscribe. All you have to do is click that button. It's in black border and white print. Click it on. Now, you don't have to pay a dime for it. It's absolutely free. It only takes up a second of your time. Now, the purpose of that is what we want you to do is have us to realize that you're out there. That's why we have you subscribe to us. It gives us a chance to know who's out there, who's following us, who's with us all of this time. And the benefit for you is that every time from now on, now that you have clicked on, right? You've clicked on. Now that you have done that, you'll get a chance to know each week when the show comes on the air live. If you have forgotten about it and you happen to be online and the show comes up, you'll get an instant notification that'll pop right up. All you have to do is click onto that instant notification and it brings you directly right there to the platform, which in our case would be YouTube, and all of you guys on Facebook too. We want you to tell your friends and family about the show. Now, for you guys who are watching us on Facebook and YouTube, you can cut and paste the platform, your particular platform where you are. That's the link that connects to you. And cut and paste that and send it to as many friends as possible, as many as you like. If they like what they see, if they like what they hear, they'll come back again and again, just like you, because the more, the merrier. So we want you to stay with us. Remember that all of the views and the opinions on this show, The Coffee Hour, does not necessarily reflect the view or the opinion of the people of Facebook, YouTube, Zoom, or any other social media outlet or publication. So that being said, let's roll on, ladies and gentlemen, lift up our cups, because what would the Coffee Hour be without a little coffee? So excuse me while I shoot up. Oh, that's fantastic. I think I'll have a little more later coming with that. We're glad to have you aboard with us, and surprise, 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 Brian Camp, a little iffy last night, but he's here with us. He's going to be here for a while, and he's got the latest developments in today's world of sports, on Sports Update, and a whole lot of other goodies for you. Good morning, Brian.
Good morning. How's everybody doing out there? Everybody's
We-
doing well?
Yeah, we're doing well over here. You look like you're doing fantastic. Look at that background.
Oh my goodness. It is 70 degrees out here. I had a chance to take the kitties, well, these are big kitties here today,
Uh,
outside today, and they had to stay inside the school. So we said, let's go outside, and it's 70 degrees and it's going up to 86 degrees today.
wow.
86. So you see, can't see it, but I'm wearing shorts today. See, yeah. Oh yeah, wearing shorts. And it's warm and it's going to be a fantastic day today. And great weather's here in the Queen City of Charlotte, North Carolina. I don't know where everybody else is at, um, in the morning, yeah, afternoon, or evening, but I hope that it's beautiful weather like it is today.
Well, that warm weather that we had yesterday here in New York is the thing of the past. It's going to get a little chilly. I'm gonna tell you. What can you do? You gotta roll with the punches because Mother Nature calls the shots.
Yeah, it
And
does.
there's not a thing you can do about it except you make sure that you just dress accordingly. You don't want to overdress, you don't want to underdress. But it's hard, to when and it shifts like that. It's hard to know how to dress.
Right.
So you got to keep tabs on that. But I'm glad that you're having a good time and good weather out there, warm weather, good enough for barbecuing and cooking out and all of that.
Well, no. Well, I got a big event coming up May 23rd. That's Memorial Day weekend. Having 50 to 75 men from my church to come over, and gonna have a big old barbecue. We're gonna talk about some things in life, men stuff, and no women allowed at all. So it's gonna be that's my big next event. Got a couple of events after that too. So the smoke and the grill will be on for the spring and for the summer as well
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, that's male bonding. There's nothing wrong with that. Male bonding every
Yeah.
once in a while. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Happy for
It's
you.
just like, it's just like being back in the barbershop in Brooklyn where a lot of men be talking their stuff at. And as soon as a woman comes in, we got to stop talking and we have to, stay quiet until they leave and everything. So,
Right. And you have to tone down the language. That's
tone
that's
down the language. That's right. Yes. Yes. And then also we have to wait until the when the ladies come, when they bring their little boys, and we have to wait until he gets his hair cut. And
uh,
as soon as he leaves, then we go back to where we was before. Yeah.
trash talking.
Trash talking. Locker
Yeah.
room talk.
Yeah, well, that's what they call it anyway. Anyway, we're here, and this month this is the final day on this month that we're going to do the coffee hour. We're going to go into drift into a next month pretty soon. But for the remaining of the month, we're still celebrating Irish American Heritage Month, and that's coming along. That's here right now. And if anyone out there is Irish descent or even Ireland or from Ireland, and we broadcast there too as well, you're watching us, you want to talk about that, of course, you can chime in right during the show. We also have National Women's History Month, which you're going to be working on pretty soon. That's the last time we're going to be talking about that this month. But it's you've got good stories to tell, so we'll be looking forward to that. And of course, we want to stay focused on Red Cross Month, and it comes in handy. Just came in handy this week. So that we got that going on, and a whole lot of things, whole lot of activities going on.
Yep. I'm looking forward to it. This is our last leg of Women's Month. Last week we did Irish Heritage Month in honoring the St. Patrick's Day weekend parade, and we did a
Hmm.
little thing with our Irish brothers and sisters as well.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's good. For all of
Yeah.
you who are watching us right now, and if you happen to be at work and you happen to be on your coffee break, because sometimes these corporate organizations, they have coffee breaks for their employees. They give them like 15, 20 minutes, whatever it is. I don't know. They used to do that a long time ago. I don't know how it is in the corporate world now, but I remember back then they used to do that. And the offices at that time, they used to have these wagons. The guys used to push their little wagons with all of the donuts and bagels and coffee and bring them into the office, and people would go over and gather around that. But if you happen, they don't do that anymore, I know for sure. But if you happen to have a coffee break, 15 minutes, spend it at your desk and at your computer and watch the show at the same time. Because I know usually you guys, right during the week, you're schmoozing with your friends, you're talking trash or whatever, you're at the water cooler, but this is Friday. So spend your coffee hour with us. And then when your coffee break is over, you'll still be at your desk. No one has to tell you, oh, coffee break is over, go back to your desk. You'll still be there sipping your coffee and watching us at the same time. We love that. We love that. It really, really,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely. Yes.
yeah. Yeah. So things are looking up weather-wise pretty soon. And speaking of the weather, those of you who are coming in, and we hope you do to get a chance to conversate with us. Give us your weather forecast, right? If you desire to conversate with us, right? Now we're not gonna drag you into this show because a lot of people just like to sit back, relax, and watch the show. They want to do that without being recognized or notarized or anything like that. And that's okay, especially for the people who are very brand new to the show, and maybe here for the first time. They just want to see or make sense of the show, and then maybe join in conversation. And we hope that will be pretty soon because we love interacting with you guys personally on the air. And but for those of you who are going to do that, give us a weather forecast. You know, it have to be full blown. It could be something nice, emoji, cloudy emoji, sunny emoji, a rainy emoji, temperature 65 going up to 100 degrees or whatever it is, just something normal. And those of you who live in New York, um, you don't have to worry about that. I'll take care of that local stuff. But like I said, Brian, the weather out here, every time I look at your background, I say, gosh, man.
Well,
And
you see, the South is different. The South is totally different where that we have, it's warmer. The deeper you go into the South, the warmer it gets.
Mhm.
So, we're blessed and fortunate to have pretty decent weather. We do have winter here in the South. It gets cold, but the thing about here in the South, it doesn't stay cold. It's like a 2 week, maybe a 3 week um cycle where we get some cold air, and then before you know it, I mean, for example, we had the guy to come to cut our grass, and we don't usually see them until like May or June, but he's here now. He came yesterday, he cut the grass. He called us and said, your grass looked like a forest. I said, oh, okay, yeah. I looked outside. He was right. So he came to cut our grass, and it looks spring-like now. Looks nice.
I notice people who own homes and have lawns and things like that, they don't bother to cut their grass or anything. They hire people to do it. Is that
I don't.
the,
Yeah, it doesn't cost that much. We only
yeah.
pay like $50, $60 every other week. You
Uh-huh.
know, but who wants to? Yeah, there are people that cut their own grass. They want to save money, but I'm at that age in my life where I don't want to do that. I just want to sit back and barbecue and grill and watch TV and just enjoy. They got this here machines where it's like a cart where you drive your cart into the grass and it cuts. So we don't have
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Well, when you get a certain age like us, you want to sit back, relax, and enjoy, maybe down a couple of Bloody Marys. And speaking of Bloody Marys, I want to say hello to Warren Dantzler out of North Carolina. He's from Greensboro, North Carolina. So he says good morning out there. He's watching us on Facebook. I don't know. You're on location someplace, so I don't think you're reaching Facebook right now, right?
Yeah, no. Speaking of Bloody Marys, I want to give him a bloody nose too after he made that remark about my team. But we'll talk about that later and everything. But it's okay, Warren. I still love you, my brother. I still love you.
Are you talking about the game on Netflix the other day?
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
Sorry, I'm sorry. But hey, here's a toast to the Yankees. A toast to the Yankees. They did a marvelous job. Um, and I'm not talking to you, Brian. I'm talking to the rest of the people out here because you don't want to
Yeah.
talk about it. But they did a marvelous job. Well, Brian will tell you about that later. He'll painfully tell you about that later. But you'll get over it. You'll get over it because hey, look,
Painfully, painfully and grudgingly, I'll tell you later.
I mean, this is just the beginning. It's the beginning of baseball. And by the way, that game was the only baseball game that was played that night.
That's
Now
right.
you can talk more intelligently about that game than I can. And the only reason why is that was the time when wrestling was on. So I'm back and forth. I'm in and out. Into wrestling. I'm into the baseball. I'm back and forth. I switch off from where wrestling is to Netflix, wrestling to Netflix. I'm going back and forth. So I didn't sit there and watch the entire game uninterruptedly. So you probably know more about that. I do know enough that Aaron Judge. Well, you'll talk all about that later. So, I
Yeah.
don't want to tell you something. That's sports. That's sports. That's your department. Anyway,
Right.
we're going to be here. We're going to be here for a whole full hour. We ate up 15 minutes away, so we got 45 minutes left to go. But hey, listen, you guys are just coming in. Thank you so much, Warren. Thank you for your weather forecast. Uh, he's got 71 degrees and cloudy, a chance of rain, but it's going to go up to 84. And you say you're going up to what, Brian?
86. It's 70 degrees now. It's going up to 86 with a
Okay, so
chance of running. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so you guys kind of share the same kind of weather. Maybe your temperature's a little higher than his, but you guys are like what, 90 minutes away from each other or something like that?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I'm going to give you my weather forecast later in just a few minutes. Those of you, again, who are going to jump in conversation, please give us your weather forecast and let us know what it's like. The reason why we do that is because we like to compare notes. We definitely have to compare notes uh, and see what my weather is like here in New York compared to yours, wherever yours is. And our our weather is it's not going to be that bad. It's not going to be that bad. It's going to be a-okay, but we'll talk to you more about that later. You didn't bring any of the kids outside with you. The kids are outside with you.
Oh yeah, the fifth graders. Yeah, they're outside. They take a look over there. They're just
Oh,
um, congregating, and they're talking about stuff for the weekend. And as you know, they're about to go on break coming up soon
hmm,
for the Easter vacation, which I'll be coming into New York from the 2nd to the 11th of April. So I'll be in town. The kids in New York will be out of school too. So I'll be able to see my children, my grandchildren, and family members, and catch a couple of church services for Holy Week as well too.
oh, Holy Week. You
Yeah.
have a particular church that you're going to. I know it's going to be in Brooklyn. It's got to be Brooklyn. Brooklyn. Everything is Brooklyn for you.
No, not really. No, no. I don't want to reveal where my destination will be, but I'll be floating around, and
Mhm.
I'll speak to you more about that later. But I am going to make my plans to see you, of course, and we could sit down and maybe spend a night over there with you, and you know, and just have fun. That's all.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be great. Is your better half coming with you?
No, she got to work. I'm bringing my granddaughter, so she's gonna see her parents.
Uh-huh.
So I'm bringing her with her, with me. And I
Yeah.
was a little nervous about coming, but we'll talk about that in a second about how TSA will be getting paid because we're gonna be flying in. So, but still, there's always that chance. You never know. I'm a little leery about flying and everything, and we'll
Yeah.
talk about that too as well.
Yeah, well, I think it was the pressure that these TSA is getting paid now. It was the pressure because these guys, these ICE, I don't even know why the ICE agents were there at the airports in the first place. Because when you look at the footage and all the images that were on the news, they were doing nothing but sitting around or standing around, congregating with each other, cracking jokes, and that was it.
Yeah.
So there's always a problem somewhere where people just want to create other things, and the old saying, "Misery love company,"
Yeah.
because the more miserable a person is, the more that they need the company. So, and we are the company.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
okay, I am going to give you my weather forecast for today. Again, those of you who are watching us and you're spending time with us, please give us your weather forecast if you desire to congregate with us. Give us your weather forecast. We would love to hear so we can compare. Now, we have 54 degrees. That's not bad. That's not exactly cold. It's 54 degrees right now in New York City. And it's not going to be a bad weekend. It's not going to be a bad weekend, but we're not going to get that warm weather that we had yesterday. Starting for today, we have overcast skies, much colder. It says colder, and we'll have a high of 55 degrees. So that's not exactly cold. They should have said cooler because 55 is not exactly cold. That's going to be the high for the day, and winds will be north at 10 to 15 miles per hour. For tonight, Friday, you're going out. You don't have to take the umbrella with you. You could leave that home. It's going to be cloudy skies, though, early, then partly cloudy after midnight. We have a low around 30 degrees. Winds will be north at 10 to 15 miles per hour. And Saturday, that's my favorite day of the weekend. It's going to be nice. It's going to be sunny along with a few afternoon clouds. I'll take it. I'll take it. We'll have a high 42 and winds will be north northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. And for Saturday night, we'll be clear to partly cloudy. We'll have a low 31. Winds will be north northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. So at this particular point, you could put away all of the martinis and the Bloody Marys because Sunday comes along and you want to be clean for that, right?
Oh yeah. It's Holy Week coming up. Palm Sunday will
Holy,
be Sunday.
yeah, Holy Week. Uh, but anyway, it's going to be for Sunday. It's going to be partly cloudy skies. We'll have a high 52. Winds will be south southwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. And repeating that current temperature, we have 54 degrees outside. And right now, we've got peekaboo sunshine that's coming in and out, but we'll take it. It's not going to be wet weather. It's going to be pretty good. So for the rest of you guys who tend to want to conversate with us, give us your weather forecast and let us know. Now, Brian, now we can
Yes.
get into it. We can get into it now. The sports. You've got the latest developments in today's world of sports.
Yes. Well, this is a busy time of the year. As you know, this is March Madness. If you watched the games last weekend, it was it was so tense, dramatic. Cinderella teams, uh, underdogs are upsetting their favorites. One powerhouse school lost, which is North Carolina University, and end up firing their coach, Hubert Davis. And then last night's games were like breathtaking beaters, and it was just great. Um, it was not so much for the women of last week because they don't get too many upsets. It's the men are the tournament where they get the upsets and everything. So tonight's big game, the St. John's and Duke, Michigan State and UConn. Those are the marquee games that's going to be coming up. So watch those games starting tonight around 6 or 7 ish. But it's been electrifying,
Brian,
electrifying
and your
fun.
camera up a bit so we can see you.
Oh,
There you
can you
go.
see me? Okay.
Yeah.
But it's been electrifying, and just hope that we all get good games. We don't want to see blowouts. We want to see good games. So and the women's Sweet 16 begins tonight and it goes through Sunday. So by Sunday, we'll have a Final Four in both brackets of men's and women. In the NFL, the NFL committee has finalized a series of wide-ranging rule change proposals to account for the growing possibility of work stoppage with the referees. Now, the Referees Association with their union, they have been, according to lists released by the league today, the changes would only apply if the NFL hires replacement officials. You don't want that. You do not want that because remember what happened some years ago when they had replacement officials. It got real ugly. They call them scabs. And same thing with the football players. You don't want scab players as well. Well, They are beginning to prepare early this month by reaching out to mostly small college officiating supervisors in an effort to develop a list of 150 candidates. So we hope that they can work this thing out. It expires May 31st. In the NBA, Detroit Pistons guard Cade Cunningham, eligibility for individual honors such as a spot on the All NBA team, maybe MVP. But because of the 65 game rules, for awards, that they want you to at least play 65 games in order to be eligible for awards. In his case, he has a collapsed lung, and if he misses too many, he will fall short of the 65 game threshold. So he's hoping that he could put in a bid, because injuries are one thing, but when you have an ailment like a collapsed lung or something else along that nature, then it should not be in the same category. So he's fighting that. The WNBA finally ratified their terms for their vote for players. The CBA, which begins the season, it was approved, I should say. It will go through from now until 2032. It represents a landmark labor deal for the WNBA players. Their union lawyers, they all came to agreement. They're going to write it up, and they're going to sign it off. And then also they have the first expansion draft with two new teams, Toronto and Portland. So you're going to get a Canadian team. We're going to talk about Canada in a second, too. I'm a little pissed off about that country. And Portland. Rules regarding for current players will be able to protect how the draft will work, and they try to figure it out. Next up to be up the free agency. More than 80% of the league will have free agents as well. So we're in a place now where the women are in great shape, where they could have their have their bargaining as well. This year, players are going to have deals going to expire last year, but there are two veteran players that aren't under rookie contracts who are signed for the season. The college draft is scheduled for April 13th. So this day in sports, March 26th, no, I'm not going to do that one. Sorry. This day, March 27th. Today is the 27th. 1931, John McGraw says night baseball will not catch on. Was he wrong? Night games are more efficient, more popular for revenue purposes, ratings for TV stations, even for live streams. So he was wrong. He said this back in 1931. Can't be so hard on him. He didn't know, but this is why we have night baseball. It's all about the money. 1998, the Chicago Bulls versus the Atlanta Hawks at the Georgia Dome was 62,046, the largest crowd in NBA history. Birthdays on this day. 1943, Mike Curtis, NFL linebacker, Super Bowl champion with the 1971 Colts, was born in Rockville, Maryland. 1963, Ed Pinckney, NBA forward, went to the University of Villanova, was born in the Bronx, New York. 1963, Randall Cunningham, NFL Hall of Fame quarterback, born in Santa Barbara, California. And happy birthday to Buster Posey, who was born in 1987. Major League Baseball he's a coach. Now he's a manager for my San Francisco. No, excuse me, he's not a manager, but he's a general manager for my San Francisco Giants. 7-time All-Star, 2010 Rookie of the Year award, and was born in Leesburg, Georgia. Now about that game that we had the other night, Wednesday, Netflix decided to have the Yankees and the Giants. It made sense. Before my team lost, I have to own up to it. It is what it is. The Yankees won, but it was great to see players, former players like Albert Pujols and what's the guy named for the Yankees that used to play for the Yankees? Rizzo. His first name escapes me, and Barry Bonds, former players.
I think that's Tommy Rizzo.
Tommy Rizzo, right? Former Cub, now used to play for the Yankees as well. He's a World Series champion too, as well. Well, Netflix is in the game now for streaming now for watching games. So the New York Yankees were playing the San Francisco Giants, which is a historical two teams with history. Giants is the oldest team in baseball, dating back to 1870 something. And the Yankees, as you know, are legendary. So they had the two oldest franchise to be on Netflix. It was great for marketing, for ratings. Um, like I said, the game wasn't, it didn't go too well, but it was great to see those two teams play and with the history that they had. So this is where baseball, basketball, and football now, they're live streaming throughout um, Netflix, Prime Video. They're all over now, of course, with the network, ESPN, and so on. So this is where we are, folks. Get used to it. Cable is about to disappear sooner or later, but it was great to see baseball on Netflix, and they did a wonderful job, and we tip our hats off to them. Now, talked about Women's History Month, and I'm going to talk about a singer, Queen of Soul, Aretha Louise Franklin. Yeah, many of you know her as Aretha Franklin. The Queen of Soul was born in Memphis, Tennessee on March 25th, 1942, to the Reverend Clarence C. Franklin and Barbara V. Siggers. When she was 2 years old, her family moved to Detroit, Michigan, where her father became a minister at New Bethel Baptist Church. Both parents were gospel singers, but her mother later separated from Franklin's father died at the age of 10 when she was 10 years old. Excuse me, my notes are dropping. Um, so, she grew up in the church and, was unchallenged by piano lessons, and she taught herself how to play by ear. She grew up with people like Smokey Robinson in the neighborhood that spawned that had the Four Tops, Diana Ross, and Jackie Wilson. Franklin's father, the gospel singer Clara Ward, were also major influences in her life. She had some hit songs like Respect, um, uh, Mary, Don't You Weep. She was singing gospel and still, with R&B. She had more than 20 Grammy Awards, including a Lifetime Achievement Award in 1994. But, her record labels include Columbia, Atlantic, but never did she ever work for Motown. You would think with all those singers back then in those 60s, you would think that she would sing for Motown, but she did not. Um, so her career rise, and she in 1985 she made a comeback after her 30th album, Who's Zooming Who. She was awarded the Presidential Medal Award in 2005. In 2008, she became Music Care's Persons of the Year, and she won her 21st Grammy in the 2008 50th Annual Grammy Awards. She died on August 16th, 2018 from cancer, and she's just living legend, The people that attended her funeral, Smokey Robinson, President Bill Clinton, the Reverend Jesse Jackson, and Stevie Wonder, among other great dignities as well. And there you have it. She was legendary, and she will be missed. Now we also have women in sports. Not going to tell you about. I'm just going to give you a slew of names they are recognized as the goats in their respective sports. Race car, uh, 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 Danica Patrick, soccer legend Marta Vieira, tennis, we got Venus and Serena Williams, more of Serena than it is Venus. Basketball, women's basketball, Diana Taurasi. Track and field, Jackie Joyner Kersey, and along with her sister-in-law, Florence Griffith Joyner, as well as Simone Biles in track and field. And ladies and gentlemen, that is sports and history coming from women of our generation and before us as well We have to salute the women who did a wonderful thing in securing this country.
They're the goats, the greatest of all time. There you go. There you go. I want to ask you that game, the Yankee Giant game on Netflix. I like I said earlier, I was in and out and back and forth into the game because of wrestling. All right, so I'm trying to gather both events going on. But each time I came back to Netflix for the Yankees, there was a new score. Now, were there any splash home runs or anything on the Yankees' part?
To be honest
Or
with you, not to be a sore loser, but after the game was out of hand, 5-0, I had to get up 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, so I had to turn off the game after a while. But I do know that Aaron Judge struck out 4 times. That I
yeah,
do know because that was all over the internet. And but I don't know when they scored their 5 runs, there was no home runs. Now, how they scored their last 2 runs, I have no idea. But when it was 5-0, then I said, okay, it's a wrap, and it's time for me to get some rest. I usually stay up anyway, regardless, and make
mm,
sure I get at least an hour or two. But when you have a hard week, a hard day, you tend to crash, and so that's why I
yeah,
wasn't able to go and finish the game as well.
yeah. I just had to go back and forth. I didn't know, and I wasn't. I was kind of like surprised that Aaron didn't get anything done on the job. But listen, this is only the beginning. And people were actually expecting him to do something. Even when I was watching the pregame show, uh, uh, the staff there, to see Barry Bonds and the other players that were there, they were predicting, who was going to do. Now Barry Bonds, he always said, "I'm not going to go against my team. I'm not going to go." He didn't care, he rooted for his and rightfully so, But a couple of them were expecting Aaron to hit home runs.
Well, it's game one. I mean, you can't
Yeah,
hit a home run in 162 straight games. I mean,
yeah,
it's not happening. So
yeah,
he'll be okay. He'll be on
yeah,
track. It's
yeah,
game one. They probably. I mean, surprisingly, they pitched to him and they
yeah,
struck him out 4 times. But it's
yeah.
game one. Remember, he was in the World Baseball Classic also, so that's another thing too. So
Hmm.
so that may have a little effect on him because he was pulled away from Yankee spring training and decided
Hmm.
to play
Yeah,
for World Baseball Classic.
yeah. But the poor guy is always under a microscope. He's always under pressure. Every time he comes at bat, everybody says, he has to hit a home run. And he's human. You got to remember, folks, he's human.
Wait. He gets paid. He gets paid a lot of money.
But
Okay,
he's human. I don't care how much he gets paid. He's human.
he's human, but there's part of him that's not human that he's supposed to do what he's supposed to do. But it is game one, so I'm not making a big thing about it. He has 161 more games to prove. I mean, to hit. He doesn't have to prove anything. But it's
Yeah,
game one. Some days you have good games, some days you don't.
yeah.
So it happened
He's
Wednesday was in a good game.
Yeah. Well, he'll come back. He's got a heavy contract that he has to fulfill. And I hope physically, he could fulfill that contract. Um, because it's going to be he's what, 40 now? Not even 40 yet.
Who's that? Aaron Judge?
Yeah.
No, he's in like his what mid 30s,
Okay.
32,
So
33, maybe something
okay,
like
so
like, like that.
he's got a lot of time left. He's got a
Yeah.
lot of time. And who knows? Who knows? He may go on for longer than a lot of people think. Hey, look at all of these other players that played it well into their 50s. Remember in the past? What was
Yeah.
Nolan Ryan? He pitched until he was like what?
Late 40s.
I
Pete
think he was
Rose,
like,
Nolan Ryan was at like 45, 46 years old. Minnie
mhm,
Minoso, former baseball player, came out of retirement after 15 years,
yeah,
played when he was in his 60s. And
yeah,
there's Satchel Paige also played. Well, we didn't know how old he was, but he was
yeah,
at an age that he was in his 50s as well, too.
Sports figures, they tend to sometimes want to come out of retirement as well. They tend to want to do that. I mean, not just in baseball or basketball or anything, even boxing. Look at Mike Tyson. Yeah, and I understand that he's ready for another fight.
Yeah.
I
Sometimes you need money, you know.
yeah, the money, yeah. But listen, and a lot of times, see, with the sports like boxing, that's something you don't want to stay in there too long. You really
No,
don't want to stay in there too long. But there's always room for a sports figure when they retire, and if the people like you, they're going to give it to you. I mean, look what they did for Tom Brady. Look what no experience, but he's coming along with it pretty nicely for right now. He was
yeah,
green in the beginning, but he's got it. I think he's kind of getting the feel of it now.
that's right.
And so a guy like Mike Tyson, he can do other things in sports too. You know,
Yeah,
uh, I
but you got to
remember.
be gifted and talented to do other things as well too.
Yeah, yeah. I remember when Michael Jordan went into retirement. He came back. His number, what was his first number? His first number was number
23,
23, and then he had another number after that. I think was it 32 or something like that.
45,
Was it 45?
45, and then he
Okay,
and then he went back to 23 again.
yeah. I mean, he was trying to be an all rounder because I know he played in the minor leagues for the White Sox.
Yeah,
you know.
yes, he did.
So
Yeah,
he was like an all around. I mean, he was like almost like the second Jackie Robinson, except for Jackie Robinson excelled in a lot of sports. He was a track
right.
star. He was a baseball, football. He excelled in all of that.
That's right.
So I'm not angry at these guys if they want to pursue more. Just be very
Yeah,
careful. It's not a lot of longevity. I don't
yeah.
know. Well, anyway, that's it. That's what you have in the definitely in the world of sports. So we thank you so much for that. Now let's move on to entertainment. Chuck Norris, veteran martial arts, world champion, action hero, and early 2000 internet meme inspiration, whose rugged demeanor was immortalized on the hit show Walker, Texas Ranger, has died. Norris had an unidentified medical emergency in Hawaii last Thursday, and the family thanked fans for their prayers during his hospitalization. Norris is 86. Carrie Ann Fleming, best known for her role in Supernatural and I, Zombie, has died following a courageous battle with cancer. Earlier this month, Jim Beaver, who portrayed Fleming's on-screen husband, Bobby Singer, on Supernatural, paid tribute to his late co-star on social media. Fleming died of breast cancer. She was survived by her daughter, and she was 51. Savannah Guthrie could be back in her chair just in a few weeks, while plans may change as her mother's case develops. Her mother, Nancy, as you know, she's missing, has been missing for a long time. The host is hoping to return to the Day Show after her children spring break. And most schools are back in session in New York by April 10th. And the journalist wants to spend as much time possible with her husband, Michael Feldman, and her daughter, Vale, 11, and son, Charlie, 9, before stepping back into the spotlight. And there are plenty of factors at play with the investigation and her own personal progress. Her mother, Nancy, as you know, was missing from her Arizona home in January. And this year is shaping up to be even busier for Bryan Adams. The top rocker hit the road back in January on his 2026 Roll with the Punches World Tour, which kicks off in Tokyo, in Japan, and is still going strong. And now, in response to enormous fan demand, a second leg of U.S. Shows has been announced for this summer, according to Adams' official website. The new run of dates will start on July 24th in St. Louis, and it will include stops in Wichita, Austin, New Orleans, Orlando, and other cities before wrapping up on August 16th. Milwaukee will wrap up in the 16th in Milwaukee, and Adams will be joined by Pat Benatar and Neil Giraldo as opening acts. 50 Cent, or as some people like to say, 50 Cent, is turning Times Square into his own personal playground. He just inked a $100 million deal to build a celebrity packed mega venue where fans can party, catch surprise performances, and rub elbows with A-listers all in one night. Rapper Mogul has teamed up with the Planet Hollywood boss Robert Earl to launch PH Live, a next level entertainment hub set to take over Planet Hollywood flagship New York City's location. Birthdays today, singer Mariah Carey doesn't even look it, but she's 57 today. Director Quentin Tarantino is 63. Blues and soul singer Junior Parker would have been 94. Actor David Jansen would have been 95. Jazz singer Sarah Vaughan would have been 102. Jazz musician Ben Webster would have been 117. And actress Gloria Swanson would have been 127 years old. They go way back. We like to say happy birthday to all of them, especially the ones who are alive today. Many, many more to you. And the ones who are no longer with us, we didn't forget you because you left us a wonderful legacy, and we will always remember you and acknowledge your birthday when it comes each year. And if you guys have a birthday coming up anytime soon and you would like us to announce it here, or you can do it yourself by coming on, you can be proactive by using our email address and our telephone number to contact us to let us know. Let me give you that email address. The email address is Frank Allan Prod. Allan is Allan. Prod is Prod. That's short for productions. Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. That's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. Telephone number is 641 715 3900, extension 467134. That's 641 715 3900, extension 467134. Remember that you should be able to put all that information into your electronic devices, such as your computer, be it laptop or desktop. You can do it with, of course, along with your app, your tablet, and your cell phone, which you carry anyway, right? So you put them, all of them, if you have all of these devices, put them in all of them. And this way, just in case one is not available, you have something to lead back on. So let me give you that email address once again. It's frankallanprod at AOL.com. That's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. Telephone number 641 715 3900, extension 467134. That's 641 715 3900, extension 467134. All of the grim news that I had, I wanted to save this one for last because I don't like reporting a lot of grim news. I already reported 2 deaths in the beginning of the show, not too far away from the show. But Valerie Perrin, an Oscar-nominated actress who capitalized on the transcended her bombshell image as a former Playboy model, winning critic acclaim as sassy yet vulnerable performances in 1970 films such as Slaughterhouse-Five, Lenny, and Superman with Christopher Reeve. She died on Monday at her home in Los Angeles, California. She was 82 years old. If you're just joining us, the name of the show is called The Coffee Hour, and we're here each week at this time. And with all of the information that we have for you, we also would like you to share information with us, any kind that you would desire, that you feel worthy or you think is worthy of sharing with us. Brian, before you go, I know you have a short amount of time. I just wanted to talk, and we talked last night about that the passing of Robert Mueller, who was the FBI director for 12 years. You already know that he died. He passed away last weekend, as a matter of fact. And all of these deaths that came in, like Chuck Norris and Robert, it always happens after we get off the air. It always happens.
Yeah.
You know that? It
Yeah.
always happens we get off the air. So this is really old news, but he passed away. And you know where I'm going with this, right?
Yeah, I know where you're going.
Yeah. And I'm going to quote him. And he said, Robert Mueller had just died. Good. I'm glad he's dead. And he can no longer hurt innocent people.
The man has a job to do. The man had a job to do as FBI director. Just because things don't go his way. Um, he's like a big old kid where he just have to um get even, and this is traits of being a narcissist where um if you don't get your way, you're just gonna cry, you're gonna get revenge. And listen, we all got to meet our maker one day. Sooner or later he's gonna have to meet his maker. It is what it is. I'm not surprised. Nobody should be surprised. This is who he is. Did he apologize to the Obamas for making that statement about being apes? No. Did he apologize for any other wrongdoing? Somebody else being like the Central Park Five. Did he apologize for that? No, he's not a person that's going to apologize. Like I said before, with him is different. Men like him and people like him who have to apologize is a sign of weakness because they do no wrong. They do no wrong, and this is who he is. So I've accepted him for who he is. It's his supporters are the ones that really gets me angry, and they just turn a blind eye. Now the mega fan base will always say that they're going to support him, no matter if he's wrong, and he is wrong. He's the worst president in U.S. history. Here it is. This country is about to celebrate their 250th independence. That's their birthday, and we're still here and still here doing this, grieving with one another. Now, here's some stats I want to give to you before I leave. Slavery lasted for 246 years, from 1619 to 1865. This country, we've been free since then, um, since 1865. Okay, from so, but here it is from 1865 to 2026. It's only been 161 years of us being free. I'm sorry, 161 years. That's not a lot. It's not a lot. So this is where we at with this country. We just had a vote on the Atlantic trade slave, where three countries, Argentina, Israel, of all countries, they should know about things like this with the Holocaust, and the United States. They didn't find it being wrong for slavery. That's what it comes down to. That's what it comes down to. And I'm not going to celebrate Independence Day, July 4th. I'm going to tell you that right now. I'm not going to do no kind of history story because, um, what's his name? Doc Rivers, NBA coach, said many years ago, not too long ago, he said, "We love this country. We really love this country." This is from the George Floyd incident. But do our country love us back? I'm in the South. This is where it all started from. You know, do I have ways of feelings about it, or do I think about things like that? Sure, I do. But I'm here in the South because I like it here. Is just different. So that's my stand on it. Ladies and gentlemen, I gotta leave. Frank, Allan, you could take care and finish up what you want to say, but don't expect Brian Camp to celebrate the 4th of July, um, not this year, and maybe not for the rest of my life, because until they figure out what happened to slaves and for us to be recognized, three countries, and then look at the other countries that stay silent. There's a chart on my Facebook page that I commented on, and you've seen the other countries that want to turn a blind eye and look the other way. But three countries: Argentina, Israel, who had the
Yeah,
Holocaust, and of
yeah,
course the United States.
yeah. Brian, thanks a lot. Warren wants you to know that St. John's and Dukes will be playing the Sweet 16 tonight. I
Tonight,
think you,
yeah, I mentioned it, so I'm
I
going to
think
make
you
sure
mentioned
that
it.
we
Yeah,
watch that.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay. We'll see you back here next week on Talk Back Live.
Take care now. Bye bye.
Take care. Have a good weekend. That was Brian Camp, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, it's always a pleasure to have him along with us. He is my co-host on Talk Back Live. He's been on pretty regularly here for the duration of the show here on the Coffee Hour, but we're not officially saying that he's the co-host here. But until something changes, man, on his part, when he's able to do it, he's welcome to do that. But anyway, we're always glad to have him with us, the sports and all of the good information he had with us. Warren, thank you for that information. But getting back to what he said, Brian is not celebrating the 4th of July. There's a lot of ways people celebrate the 4th of July without celebrating the 4th of July, but he's not celebrating it in any political way or any way like that. It's listen, people have their ways and their rights to do what they want. And, I mean, I understand what he's saying. I understand what he's saying. And I think one of the things that I think a lot of us probably would tell me, cool it, just be cool. Don't get all flustered about it, because there is no low. There is no low. There's only infinity. For the rest of us human beings, the real human beings, there's a certain level that you can go, and you can't go any further. But this guy who calls himself the President of the United States, the leader of the free world, all right, the highest office on the planet, the highest and the powerful office on the planet, comes up with something idiotic like that. Now, I didn't know anything about that because this happened on the weekend. Now, I don't watch news on the weekend. You guys already know that. I don't watch news on the weekend. I only watch it during the week. And if it's too overbearing, then I cut it off. But the news got back to me, because even if you don't watch the news have a way, especially breaking news like that, has a way of getting back to you anyway, in some form. Everyone has cell phones, so you get breaking news on your cell phone or whatever. Or someone will call you and say, hey, something, so-and-so said this, and as Brian said, he's who he is. There's no changing him. And when I close out the show today, I won't be surprised if I go into that green room when I'm finished and turn on that TV and see something said stupid. The guy is under pressure now that he is now paying the TSA agents, and they deserve it, because in the beginning, the ICE agents were there on the airport doing nothing and getting paid, and the TSA agents haven't been getting paid. Shame on you. Shame on you. And I ran out of shame on yous, because it's going to be more, ladies and gentlemen. I guarantee you, before this week is out, before this weekend is out, when I come back on Monday and turn on the news, I'm going to learn something new, and I won't be surprised. I'll probably be angry like I am now, but I won't be surprised. I have movies, ladies and gentlemen, for your weekend movies. I want to quickly get started, because I know a lot of you are waiting for that. And these movies from Turner Classic Movies. Now, here's the first one. It's called The Breakfast Club from 1985. Emilio Estevez, Judd Nelson, and Molly Ringwald. That's Turner Classic Movies. That's Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And go to 1950. I love this movie, black and white classic called Caged, starring Eleanor Parker, Agnes Moorehead, and it's Turner Classic Movie a Sunday at 12. It comes on twice. It comes at 12 a.m. and then again at 10 a.m. So if you miss it at 12 a.m. midnight, you can see it at 10 a.m. All right. And by the way, you can DVR all of these and check them out for yourself later on. Also, you have The Bank Dick from 1940. W.C. Fields. It's a comedy along with Cora Witherspoon. Turner Classic Movie. That's Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Here's a couple of recommendations that's not Turner Classic, but both on Netflix. I want to go back and turn you over to Becoming. I've mentioned this one before with Michelle Obama, own documentary on Netflix. You can check it out. And then We're going to go back to Black in Beauty. That's a Tyler Perry series. That's on Netflix. They have more episodes and new episodes now. You can check it out, starring Crystal Stewart and Taylor Polidor. Polidor. And that's on Netflix. All on Netflix. It's right there for you to see. Okay, so I hope you get a check out these movies. Take a gander at them. I think you're going to like them. They're great. That's going to wrap it up for me, ladies and gentlemen. I had a ball. My weekend is officially underway. Yours is coming up before you know it. I will be back on Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern for Talk Back Live. My co-host Brian Camper will be along with me, along with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. And we look forward to seeing you then. And then come back here next Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern for the coffee hour. And of course, Brian Camp with the latest developments in today's world of sports and Sports Update. Ladies and gentlemen, in the meantime, have yourself a wonderful weekend, a wonderful day, and I'll see you all back here next week. Take care. So long.
You've been watching The Coffee Hour with your host Frank Allan. The producer has been Al Dale. Technical assistant Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer Donna Stenke. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time on The Coffee Hour.